Hey guys, it's Carla. Today I'm working on 140-pound cardstock paper with acrylic paint. This is dark green, deep yellow, white, light blue, lavender, and red. And I'm going to start with my kind of sketching in my house. And when I make the traceable, I'll give you the outline for this in case you don't want to sketch it in. But it will be a good opportunity for you to kind of practice on your sketching and your dimensions and stuff. And keeping in mind that paintings kind of look better when they're a little bit on the wonky side. I mean, I think they do. So not only is it acceptable for them to be wonky, but in a lot of cases it's preferable. We'll have a door right here and maybe a window going this way. Alright, and we'll have a chimney. Then right here I want a big tree, and I'm just using a small flat brush, synthetic flat brush for this. So I just want to kind of get the shape of my tree in. It kind of hangs out over the house. I'm not trying to make leaf shapes right now. I mean, I won't even after a while. This is not a detailed painting. But I do want to make the overall shape of the trees right now. Alright. And then there'll be trunk will come down. We'll deal with all that later. And I'm going to have some water back here. So there's my horizon line. And then I think there'll be like bushes and stuff over here. And then back here behind the house, there's greenery. I'm just kind of scumbling that in. There's a tree up here. It kind of hangs out over the house. Now the reason I'm working with such a small brush is because my surface is really small. If you're painting on a larger surface, then just increase the size of your brush. And you can do this with a flat brush or an angle brush or whatever. So maybe a tree trunk right there. Maybe some greenery down here in the corner. Same thing over here. I'll have some greenery there. And some right here by the house. We'll deal with this part later too. Okay. So the first thing I want to paint is my house. I'm going to start with just white. And as usual, I'm doing negative painting, which is instead of painting your background and painting on top of it, I want to paint the closer things first. And this white will need another coat, obviously, when it dries. And then the roof, go ahead and start with this color. Now this side of the roof is, this side of the house is going to be fairly dark because it's in shadow. All right, there's also, I'm sure these trees will be casting a shadow on the house, on the roof. So especially this side will be fairly dark. Maybe a little bit cast over here from this tree or that one, I don't know. Just something, some shadow. Shadow over here from this tree. Now under the eave is going to be really dark. I kind of want this to be kind of a grass roof looking, so I want this edge right here to be jagged. Up here, I've got a red chimney with a shaded side right here. Okay, I'm going to move to a larger brush and kind of scumble in my ground area here. So pick up green and yellow. Oh no, I said this was going to be water back here, so let me fix that. Okay, now I can go ahead and start putting in my sky. And I want it to be kind of blue and purple and just whatever happens. And this is, again, negative painting. You're painting little specks of sky between the leaves. And you can have as much of your red background showing through as you want. I like quite a bit of it showing through. I don't want it, you know, to be overwhelming or anything, but I really like that effect, so. But it's personal preference, so. All right, I'm gonna start putting in some lighter shades in the trees. So my light is coming from this side. So I want this side of the trees to be considerably lighter. Now this down here is just going to be just a bunch of greenery. Maybe a bush back there behind the tree. With the light color, I'm going to kind of indicate a tree trunk. And some of the limbs you're going to be able to see between, like right here, between the leaves and stuff. So be sure and indicate those every now and then. And maybe there's some greenery down here at the foot of the tree. Just to kind of hide the feet. Now I see an area where it may seem very insignificant, but it's very important actually. This little slither right here between the trees, you would see water back there. All right, now I'm going to work on this tree. I want to make sure I don't cover up all my dark, or it'll just look flat. I'm going to darken all of this. I need more green. I'm just making sure my darks are dark enough. All right, now I need a path and walkway. So maybe it comes from back here and just kind of scummels through here. And I'm making these strokes horizontal because If you try to make them the shape of the path, then it's going to look wonkier than we want. We'll come back to that later. All right, now I want to go back to my house since it's dry and go ahead and brighten it up. So what I want is white, but with just a hint of yellow to warm it up. Okay, now this little clump of bushes right here at the house needs some attention. Again, it's going to be brighter on this side where the sun's hitting it, and then get darker as it comes around. But I don't want my dark to be totally neglected, so I'm going to put some shadow color back there. I want to make sure it's dark enough without being black. I know that looks kind of bright right now, but it will dull down. Okay, now I'm going to come back to these clumps of grass down here. I'm just going back and forth with my shades. Now with a watered down blue and purple, very watered down, I'm going to put some color back here. And again, it's going to look brighter when it first goes on, but it will soak in and dull down. This is just a shadow color. Maybe I want some of that on the roof too. Changing the shape of the branch right there. All right, now I'm going to go back to my path with kind of a warm white. Just little areas where the sun might be hitting it. Oh, I forgot the little walkway. Okay. Now, I believe I will add some flowers here and there. Where do I want flowers? Maybe somewhere here. Maybe. Okay. I think I'll just have some here too. Not regret it. And when you're making flowers, and I see this a lot, I see this mistake a lot. When you're making flowers, you don't want them to be evenly spaced apart. You want kind of like clumps together. A few off to themselves, but they tend to grow in clumps. So keep that in mind. Otherwise it's going to look like just polka dots. While those are wet, I'll come in and tap in a few highlights. Alright, that does it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you give this a try. And until next time, God bless you.